Chat. Chat. Thank you. Hi all, I'm a little bit early. Salut à tous. C'est un peu, justement, un peu de bonheur. Parce que c'est la première fois avec que j'essaie ça avec Zoom. Malgré que le logo Zoom, il est vraiment par-dessus mon visage. There we go. So, je vais faire... Ah, puis là, ouais. Il y a comme une dégradation, je vois, de la... Bon, attendez, avant de tout faire ça, il faut que je mute ça. Voilà. Pour pas avoir trop de feedback. So I'm just trying, this is the first time I'm doing this, trying this out. I'm noticing though that the, I don't know if it's the video quality from the Zoom feed, or is it from, because when I look at my OBS looks nice and sharp. Everything looks good there. Then again, it could be, let me see, where's my Zoom image? Zoom meeting is here. Meeting is being live broadcast. Thank you. Yes. So this is the first time I'm trying this. Okay. I'm going to try to keep everything going here with the chat, and I'm hoping that the quality of the feed will be as good as usual when I do it directly from OBS. But in the meantime, I'm streaming into my OBS, into my Zoom, and then from Zoom into the YouTube. So this will be a first trial for that. The idea of what's doing it this way was because I absolutely wanted to see that if anybody wanted to participate in the actual, I'm going to put the information up on the chat, on the YouTube chat. You can also find it. Vous pouvez trouver tout ça. Bon, ça a l'air d'être compressé par compression. Okay. Oh oui, puis j'ai oublié mes lumières. But it's been a while since I've seen you all. So I thought it would be a great time. Mind you, it's been a rather busy summer since late. Occupé un peu avec introduire des nouveaux sorties, des nouveaux pour chez Gosselin, des événements. Justement, demain, je représente Gosselin avec Canon, un événement de Canon. Et puis, c'est ça. Puis j'ai toutes sortes de choses. Mes vacances cet été ont été divisées en deux. C'est-à-dire, je vais passer une semaine pour faire un mariage d'une de mes cousines. Sa fille se marie à l'Ontario. Fait que j'ai décidé de faire ça comme justement un voyage de photo. So we're going to try and see. We're going to do a little photo trip to Ontario. Guys, I hope this is going to work out the way that I'm expecting it to work out. You guys can tell me if everything is working properly and all. I haven't switched screens yet, but I will in a few minutes. In the meantime, I'm just going to blah for the next few minutes until we hit. Oh yeah, I wanted to send out. I'm going to send it out over the chat. You have it on the YouTube channel. Sorry, not on the YouTube channel, but I mean on the announcement for the group. I had put in the link for if you want to connect via Zoom, you can do so. Copy link address. I'm going to put it over here in the chat so that you guys can see it. This microphone is a little bit cumbersome and I can't see my keyboard. In the meantime, here's the, okay, voici le lien Zoom si vous voulez participer à l'épisode. Here is the link. I know, you know how, men, we cannot absolutely not multitask. I don't care what any man says. Here's the link to be able to connect to the Zoom session. Scott actually is good. I've been using Zoom now almost 3 years, but this is going to be the first time that I actually stream from it to the channel. Okay, so here's the link. Control V. Oh shit, did I put the wrong link? I put the wrong link. Hold on. Can I bring this back here? Yeah, bring that back. The link that I want, it'll be easier if I just go and get. I put it down in the episode. So if I go here and I go here, where is it? Oh crap, you know what? I think I put the wrong description in the, that was smart, dumbass. Okay, hold on, I'm gonna have to fix that. And I think I deleted, no, I didn't. You know where I put it? I know where I put it. I need my Zoom. Give me my Zoom. I'm just gonna take the link from my meeting, which is here. Copy the link. Thank you very much. Invite link. So here's the invitation. I'm going to put it here. So you just click on this invitation and I'll put it in again just in case. Control V. So for those of you who are on Zoom and you want to participate, vous voulez participer au comme ça va. J'essaie d'amener ça un peu plus, comment je dirais, beaucoup plus interactif que d'habitude. Normalement, c'est moi qui parle toujours en fonction de nos analyses de photos et tout. C'est juste comme ça va être plus facile pour tout le monde à interroger avec moi si vous avez des questions que avec le chat, parce que le chat, il y a toujours un délai. There's always a delay with the chat that it's really difficult for me to keep up and try to keep everything on track. So with this way here, and I know I was a little bit late in publishing it. I wanted to publish it earlier this week, but I didn't. Obviously, with the week that I've had, it's been rough. So many things to do, so little time. But I keep saying that I want to. It just never happens. But I really do want to bring this channel back to a point where it would be more active as it was late. Or earlier, I should say, as it was earlier. I'm just waiting. I'm not waiting. I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to be able to do all of this together with, the way things, as busy as things get. I'm trying to, let me see now. If I do this, can I jump onto, or will I have to do it through the other window? No, I got it here. Perfect. I don't know if Mark is usually game for tests like this when it comes to this stuff. I'm going to give this, we still got a few more minutes here, so we'll, wow, I wonder what has just happened here. I'm hoping that it didn't change the shareable link compared. Let me see something. Did it duplicate? I think it duplicated my link. Control V. I might have to resubmit. I got a feeling that's what it did. Hold on. So this was the link. It did. It changed my link. Damn it. So what I got to do, I'm going to just make a quick change on the Facebook invitation, which is over here. It put the wrong link. Well, it didn't put the wrong link. It created a brand new link, which is okay. So I just learned something new about Zoom. I cannot pre-schedule as I have done in the past when I'm using OBS, because OBS is connecting directly to. Okay, here we go. Let me edit this link. Edit post. Bear with me a moment as I correct the link, the YouTube link. Enter. Control V. Yeah, it changed. It actually changed the link. So delete. I got Mark. Okay, Mark is coming in there. I knew it. I could count on Mark. I knew it. Thank you, Mark. Hold on just a sec. Actually, let me admit you. Control V. Hold on. Mark's in the waiting room. We're going to get him in here. I'm just going to make this correction here to the save that link. I got to go. Let me go get Mark in here. Where are you, Mark? Mark. I need, where's my Zoom, my main window? Here we go. Participants. Where are you, Mark? Let me see here. I lost you. What happened to you? Mark. Let me see. Okay, this now should show. There you go. Okay, I got you. Hold on, I got you. Where are you, Mark? Admit. Ah, there we go. Now we got Mark on. Fantastic.
Mute.
Hold on. Where are we here? I need, which window do I doing? Okay, I need to put this window up there. Gallery, speaker. We'll put this on speaker here so that I see who's speaking when they're speaking. Mark, can you hear me?
Okay, Jay, do you have me?
Yeah, I got you. I got your volume too. That's fine. We got a lot of noise in the background though, right?
Moi, je m'en allais juste me faire un petit quelque chose pour.
Là, j'ai pas acheté ma.
So, Mark, what I'm going to ask you to do,
AJ.
what I'm going to ask you to do is, Mark, turn your microphone off.
AJ.
And when you want to talk, use the space bar like a PTT button.
Ah, ok. Oui, il faut juste que je regarde les.
AJ, do you hear me?
I hear you, Mark. Can you hear me?
Ça va.
You have to turn your speakers on in Zoom. Bottom left corner. Now you're muted. That's fine. Okay. Now when you want to talk, press the space bar. Hold it down when you want to talk. Just going to let Mark sync up with his sound. So ça c'est pour tout le monde. Pour ceux qui veulent participer, quand vous rentrez dans la salle puis qu'on vous admette, vous avez juste besoin de désactiver votre microphone. Puis quand vous voulez parler, vous tenez votre barre d'espace quand vous voulez parler. So when you come into the waiting room and we let you in, please have your microphone already muted if possible. And when you want to speak, just hold down your space bar and it'll automatically unmute. And when you let go of the space bar, it'll automatically turn your microphone back off again. Surtout if you guys have a lot of background noise, it's just much easier that way. I'm gonna start up in what time? What are we? A little bit late? Yeah, we're running a bit late. Don't worry, we're just trying to get all of our technologies in sync and working condition. Let's see, does anybody in the chat? All right then, Mark, no problem. Mark's got some people over. Oh, okay, very good. No problem, Mark. Thank you. Although it does show that it does work.
Let's see.
And Mark is out. Fantastic. Bon, ben, regarde, on va commencer. Et puis, we'll get a start going. And anybody who wishes to join in using Zoom, please, by all means, you can do so. In the meantime, as I said, I put the new link for the YouTube channel, seeing that for some reason or other, it really didn't. Actually, I'm going to make one more modification to the Zoom episode, which is going to be, I got to go here. Give me a second. I'm going to need this one. Edit. I want all of this. Give me a sec. I'm going to be with you all in a sec. A quick sec. Give me all this here. Oops. Okay. Control C. Over here. This is the streaming live now. And Control V. Save. There we go. Okay. And here we go. So welcome everybody. Bienvenue à tous à ce nouveau épisode que ça fait longtemps qu'on ne s'est pas vu. Nouveau épisode de mon photographie avec moi. Welcome to it's been a while for everybody. I realize it. I apologize for the tardiness and the how can I say infrequent episodes, as much as I would like to do them more frequently. Especially, you know, supporting the channel, supporting the Facebook group, but life is what it is. What can I tell you? I have been doing a lot more photography outdoors. Just so that those of you who do know, pour ceux qui savent pas ou que sont pas au courant, Fabrizio et moi, on a commencé un nouveau groupe Facebook qui s'appelle RDP Argentique. RDP, basically film photography, but needless to say, we if you're digital, if you're film, doesn't matter. By all means, we welcome you. The idea is that we started a Facebook group that meets towards the end of the last confinement. We decided to get together as a group, and once a month we get together and we try to do an excursion once a month also, be it film, mainly film. But you are also invited, if you don't have any film camera, to come and join us with your digital cameras. It'll give it. It's the whole thing is to be out in a group together talking about film photography, digital photography in general. We did it also so that we could get together at a restaurant once a month and have a nice little dinner together. The group, wives, conjointes, girlfriends, also invited, boyfriends, husbands, but we, talk about, different aspects of photography. Mainly, I will grant you mainly film, but we also talk a lot about printing also. Printing our images rather than just viewing them on screens. And it's held at a restaurant it's a little greasy spoon in Rivière-des-Prairies here in Montreal. I actually have to advertise the next date. It's usually the last Wednesday of the month normally. But then again, now with the summer and everything and I've got a lot of appointments, I'm doing a little bit more wedding photography this year. A lot more excursions with the summer for Gosselin. Je suis en train de faire beaucoup. Mon agenda pour le mois de juillet et août, il est un peu serré, surtout avec les 2 semaines de vacances qui s'en viennent. J'en ai un en juillet, j'en ai un en mois d'août. Fait que ça a rapetissé ma calendrier en tant que tel. Mais je vais essayer aussi de fréquenter la chaîne et le groupe Facebook en tant que tel plus souvent. J'ai divisé mon temps. Je t'avoue que c'est arrivé, la façon que c'est arrivé, c'est quand même un peu. Bonjour, monsieur. Monsieur Blais, vous êtes arrivé. Ben, fantastique. Bonjour, Luco. On va se voir ce soir plus tard pour notre sortie de intro à l'astrophotographie. Ça va être intéressant. Ça s'annonce pour être une très, très belle soirée. Fait que j'ai hâte à ça aussi. Si jamais vous voulez rejoindre le Zoom pendant cette petite heure d'analyse des photos des membres, vous pouvez cliquer sur le lien que je vous avais envoyé, puis je vous laisserai rentrer dans la salle sur Zoom. C'est la première fois que je fais ça, fait que je veux voir qu'est-ce que ça va donner en fonction de qualité de vidéo et aussi voir qu'est-ce que ça pourrait donner pour la chaîne quand je fais ces épisodes-là où on pourrait avoir peut-être un peu plus d'interaction réelle, courante pour pour la chaîne. Pas la chaîne, mais là, je veux dire le groupe voyons, Facebook. Wow! Parfait. Fait que le cause, il va nous rejoindre dans Zoom dans quelques instants. Luco is one of our newest members to the group. And he's been following me with my classes and my excursions I've been giving through Gosselin Photo here on the South Shore. And he's become a very, very, very actually he's become very, very close, very friendly. I mean, he's also part of our new RDP film photography group, RDP Argentique. So he's really getting pas interactif, he's getting c'est quoi le mot, active with his photography. Practicing, maybe not on a daily basis, but he's practicing rather frequently, which is what photography demands. A lot of practice, and the more you practice, the better you become. So let's go straight to, while we wait for Luco to get on the Zoom, why don't we go straight away to the channel, the group, I mean. I'm going to just switch screens, and it's been so long that I've used my OBS, I can't even remember what my hotkeys were. I should be going to screen 2, and it should be switching over. There we go. Fantastic. And here we have our first image, which was posted on April 15th, which was the last date. Actually, the last date that we had an episode was April 14th. I'm terrible. I haven't done an episode since. I've done a couple of off the cuff episodes with which I have to repost the one that I did avec Parc Omega. That was an example that I was doing with the YOLO Live Pro streaming controller box. But as I was where we were located in Parc Omega, I have to check and see the recording because with the newest upgrade of the firmware, we're able to now record 10-minute segments of the duration of our streaming session. Anyways, long story short, let's get back to I'm digressing again. I'm back in. I'm just waiting now. Just taking a look at see if Loco gets. Anyways, again, if you guys want to link up through the Zoom, do so. I put it in the voyons, come on, it's in the Facebook announcement, and it's also in the YouTube chat channel. J'ai corrigé le lien pour le YouTube dans la partie de je vais juste être sûr que je suis pas en erreur, mais je l'avais corrigé dans le. Laisse-moi juste vérifier encore une autre fois. Oui, c'est ça exactement. Fait que j'ai corrigé le YouTube, le short link du YouTube pour que tout le monde puisse brancher sur le bon YouTube et pas celui d'avant que j'avais essayé de créer ce matin pour annoncer l'épisode. So here we have an image from Fabrizio. This one here, I believe from looking at this, it looks like he shot this one with a film, because you can see the grain. And again, this is exactly what grain is in photography. Digital photography does not have this capacity to produce this type of grainy texture in a film. All the digital can do is simulate a type of grain, but it's not. I could be wrong though. I'm thinking this might be something he applied, because I can see two dust, or what looks like dust spots on his sensor. So I'm wondering if and I made a bad assumption here in the sense that I thought this was grain from a film shot, but it looks like this might be a digital shot. And I don't know Fabrizio if he's around. Anyways, as far as the image goes, I mean, I love the contrast. It brings me back to the film days when using a particularly a 800 ISO or a 400, exposing it at and developing it at 800, which is something that we could easily do with black and white photography in the film era. And I have I'm still 4-5 films behind in my scans, so I have a lot of stuff that I got to get caught up on with my films, and I've still got 5 or 6 films here. Uncle Bob and I are going to be scheduling a session of color film developing probably next week, so I can't wait to get those images developed too and scanned, so that we can have a look and see what those can do. Am I on the right screen? Hold on, I might not be. There we go. So let's check out our next. Here, Fab is one of his passions of photography is shooting with his pinhole cameras. And this one here is exactly a pinhole portrait. Voici un favori de Fabrizio. C'est de photographier en sténopée. C'est-à-dire que si vous voyez la photo complète, elle a une certaine qualité générale de flou. Puis ça vient de l'effet qu'on n'utilise aucun optique, on utilise seulement un diaphragme. Puis le diaphragme est tellement petit. Normalement, c'est soit une aiguille ou un laser qui fait que ça donne la look que vous voyez ici. Et puis, Fab, the lighting is fantastic. And this is studio. So the model had to, for sure, unless you were using a very, very high-powered strobes, this had to be there had to be a long exposure to a point. Here we have another portrait, stenopy, another pinhole portrait. Beautiful shot. I love it. I love the lighting. I love the vignette. It really is. And this was done with a digital camera, because here on the bottom, you can actually see the dust that's on the sensor. Pinholes are usually such small apertures. We're looking somewhere between the f200s and the f400s. I have l'objectif ou l'adaptateur sténopé que j'ai pour mon Sony numérique. Quand j'utilise aucune extension, ça me donne à peu près un 200 F230, un 35, 31, je crois. Puis quand on parle de quand je l'extensionne à 85 mm, 90 mm, ça revient à peu près à un 430 ou 450, un F450. Fait que c'est dans ces cas-là, on utilise soit les grands ISO, et sinon, si on veut avoir moins de bruit, dans ce temps-là, on va plutôt utiliser des ISO moyennes, peut-être du 800, du 1600 dans ce cas-là. Sinon, à 100 ISO, avec ces diaphragmes, ces grosseurs de diaphragme-là, on parle des très longues expositions. Mais tout pour dire que le portrait, regardez comment est-ce qu'il a utilisé je te dirais que ça serait plutôt c'est pas du split lighting, c'est plutôt, je te dirais, proche entre la loupe et peut-être du Rembrandt avec un seul éclairage. J'ai quelqu'un qui s'en vient. Ah, Luco, let's see here, let's see. Luco, admit, voilà. On devrait voir Luco bientôt. Ben, vous ne le verrez pas, évidemment. Moi, je le vois d'ici. Mais comme ça, s'il y a des questions, si vous avez des questions, évidemment, euh, avec le, euh, avec le Zoom, vous allez pouvoir me parler directement en live. Et justement, attends, qu'est-ce qui est arrivé ici, là? Ah, je vais changer mon... attends 2 secondes. What happened here? It switched over when it shouldn't have. I need this to go back to main screen. Oh, no. Sorry, I dropped my screen is what happened. Now it'll come up. There we go. I got to remember not to do that. Parce que j'ai 2 écrans ici, qu'est-ce qui est arrivé? C'est que ça l'a comme doublé voilà. Chat. OK, attends. Luco, il est en chat. Show chat previews. There we go. Là, je le vois. Luco, si jamais vous voulez parler, vous avez juste besoin de tenir votre barre d'espace pour parler. Et puis là, on va pouvoir vous entendre si vous avez des questions. On to our next image in the group. And seeing that, as you all know, I had to kind of let go of the challenges that I was doing because it was getting so infrequent that I wasn't able to follow up, orderly in an orderly way and a frequent enough way. So what I've done is we're just doing analyses of images that are submitted to the group. This is a beautiful shot, an effect qui vient de la manipulation d'une longue exposition et avec un zoom en même temps. So here, basically what we're doing is we're doing a long exposure. And at the same time, we are using our mechanical zoom of our lens and zooming out while we do the long exposure. And exactly what happened in this particular case here is that Fab started zoomed in on the trees at the vanishing point. And as he pressed on the not the aperture, but of the shutter button, he unzoomed and went to a wide angle. And this is where you see that the lights are kind of moving back, not forward, but back. Aside from the fact that you'll notice that the most exposed point of these light sources are literally zoomed in and they're moving away. Therefore, it's keeping the image of the forest behind. And that's a fantastic job there, Fab. Always introducing nice, interesting effects to his long exposures. On to our next one. Again, Fabrizio. An early winter morning in April. It's probably one of our last freak snowstorms at the time. Fab is he's like my old man. I did it again. What happened here? No. Luco, est-ce qu'on voit? Attends 2 secondes. Non, c'est correct. Okay, correct. Ah, c'est mon oh, that's what it is. Hold on. I got it. Let me kill this. There we go. That's it. Now I can see. OK. J'avais un écran d'un de mes qui laguait de mon YouTube. J'espère juste que tout va marcher comme il faut avec YouTube. Ça a l'air que oui. En travers de Zoom, oui. J'espère que. Laisse-moi juste voir vite fait. Puis locaux. OK. Oui, c'est ça. C'est ça que. Ouais, je pense que la problématique, puis peut-être la prochaine test, ça serait de éliminer OBS, puis juste que je fasse ça en travers de Zoom. Je me demande s'il n'y a pas. Il est en train de compresser 2 fois mon signal à moi. Et que c'est pour ça que je suis pixelated, comme vous dites. Et puis, justement, it's going to probably go back to purple again because I'm still on the wrong. I'm going to bring this back. That's good. And I'm going to bring this up over here. Parfait. Yeah, c'est ça, exactement. Okay, parfait. So here we got a beautiful shot. I love the little burned in over here on this street light over here in the center, but it still works. It still works. I mean, évidemment, we have to work with what we have, and the lighting that we had here was probably dark enough. But I like the lines going, all the way down into infinity down here at the center of the image. We actually see the snow falling. What you see all over here, these lines and these little markings you see in the screen are in the image, I should say, not in the screen, but in the image, are exactly snow falling from a snow blizzard. And also I like the crop. I like this is more of a 6x9, a 16x9 or a 16x10 cropping. Well chosen for this particular image. Good shot there. Très bien fait, Fabrizio. Oh, sorry, wrong way. We're going to go back the other way. And this here image came from Mark. And it was a spring, it was our freak snowstorm that spring, or this earlier spring. We've got 3 penguins looking at the budding plants in his front garden. And yeah, it's a fantastic shot. I like the fact that even that it adds a little dynamicism. The fact that he kind of tilted the image off kilter. But very good shot. Depth of field well chosen, in that we really want to put our eye on the subjects here in this area here and separate them from the background. Fantastic shot there, Mark. Here we have another one of Fabrizio and his model with his Olympus. A beautiful portrait from behind. This is in Joliette, as you can see, at la Ruelle des Artistes. I love the contrastiness of this image. Even though, the white is blasted out there in the background, it's not important what would be there or what could have been there. It's more the fact of his model viewing the images that are hung up on the walls there on either side of her. Again, another beautiful shot. I like the texture that he added using the simulated grain. This is an image actually that I believe Fabrizio shot when he brought me to this bridge at the day that we did the I believe it was the day that we did the pinhole in Terrebonne. And I was shooting with my 4x5 and he was shooting with his I think he shot this with his phone, if I'm not mistaken. But again, I love the treatment that he used on this this black and white treatment that he used on this image. It gives it that little old vintage look, un peu d'un traitement ancien, noir et blanc. C'est vraiment quand même intéressant comme photo. Ouais. Puis tu sais, la mise au point la profondeur de champ. Quand même bien réussi si ça a été pris avec un téléphone. And again, here we have the bridge again, but this is one this time shot from up above at the level of the now this is a little bit, I mean, this is Fab doing his artistic thing, you know. It is a little, for me, myself, a little overly treated. But it makes for an interesting shot, even still, using the colors, the hues. It gives it a little bit more of an artistic, more not an artistic, but a little bit more of a graphic art kind of, kind of a quality to this image. And as you can see, Fabrizio loves this bridge. I did too. I did the couple of shots that I did in film. You'll be seeing them in the next couple of weeks. I didn't shoot from up here. I shot from down below, more so. But this makes it beautiful. I love this black and white. This is a beautiful black and white. This would make a beautiful shot on the wall. Yeah. It gives that vintage look. Ce style d'ancienneté, ça représente vraiment bien le pont en tant que tel. Je sais pas si c'est un pont qui est fermé ou qui est abandonné, mais Fabrizio pourrait nous le dire. Justement, c'était la journée de Stenopé, Worldwide Pinhole Day, which was on the 24th of April, 2022. I still have to post mine. Luco had a question. Est-ce que tu as développé des 4x? Pas encore, c'est ça justement. De cette journée-là, je vais les développer justement cette semaine avec. Je ne m'ai pas rendu encore hier, car que c'était Saint-Jean, puis la famille voulait vraiment quand même fêter un peu. Fait que j'ai pas pu passer le temps sur mes. Mais sont déjà loadés dans ma tank en haut ici, à ma gauche. Il faut juste que je les développe dans le. Pour que je puisse les numériser aussi. Puis pour que je puisse le montrer. I have, on the other hand, voyons. What was I going to say? Sorry. I got distracted. I'm trying to keep my eyes on two screens at the same time. Merci, Luco. À vous aussi. En passant, yeah, c'est ça, c'est que. Oh man, I forgot what I was going to say. I can't remember. Okay, I'll come to it later. On to the next. Am I on the right screen? I'm probably not on the right screen. There we go. This is a beautiful. And as a matter, I pointed this out. I think it was on one of my excursions, my street photography excursions. It wasn't street photography. It was photo de voyage, travel photography that I did a couple of weeks back in Old Montreal, and it's a very popular alleyway in Old Montreal that we use surtout aussi pour les mariages. Normalement, on se mettrait genre les mariés au bout, ou pas au bout, là, mais je veux dire dans le milieu, and we'll shoot them using this I wouldn't say archaic, but this old alleyway that has been restored and kept as it was from back in the day. Here we go. Is our pinhole day shot from I forget whose pinhole he used for this one here. I think it might have been even with his phone, and it was a treatment that was applied. But basically, there's Fab with his pinhole camera. He uses the same pinhole adapter that I have, although I use extensions on mine to give it more focal length to be able to zoom in closer to my subject. I believe, mine can go from on my body, on my Sony A7 III, it can go from 15 millimeters all the way out to about 90 millimeters. Evidently, the loss in light means you have much more depth of field because of the distance. And that's where I was telling you that the actual pinhole, when at 15 millimeters, is a 231 on my camera, and it goes out to about 450 or 470, something like that. F470. Yes, was it? There's Uncle Bob and Fab with me. I was in the process. I don't remember. Oh, I was calculating. You'll notice this is the pinhole box that I have for my 4x5 for the 4x5 film. So I have 4x5 film set up in this one here because I don't have a actual lens to do pinhole on my Nagaoka. So instead, what I did was I did pinhole using this box here, which comes from a gentleman in I can't remember the town right now, but it's near Trois-Rivières. Et puis, proche de Trois-Rivières, puis son nom, c'est. Ben, la compagnie, son nom de compagnie, c'est JBP, si je me rappelle bien, Stenopé. Et puis, he actually makes these boxes for one of the classes that he gives at, I think it's LaSalle College or LaSalle Photography College. And it's a box that costs about $85. This is the shutter. This little holder here that you see here blocks, and the shutter is actually the actual pinhole is actually in here. So I'm eager to see what these 4x5 images, and this is what Luco was talking about. Exactement, j'avais mes 4x5, mes feuilles de 4x5, ça vient de cet appareil-là. Fait que j'ai hâte à voir qu'est-ce que ça va donner comme angle de vue, or champ de vision. I can't wait to see what it's going to give also as a field of view, because it's hard to say. That one there has a focal rating of, not a focal rating, but an f-stop rating of f230, 237. And it's about if I'm not mistaken, 135 millimeters long, which gives it's supposed to give the equivalent in 35 millimeter of about a 35 millimeter lens. So I can't wait to see what exactly it's going to give, because there's no real actual viewfinder on it. You just have to point it more or less in the general direction to what you want to capture and hope for the best, basically. So that was our pinhole day. And this was actually Mark, and Mark had his Canon with him, the 5D Mark Cat. No, sorry. What is Mark? Mark's got a 5D R or R. I can't remember, a DS. But this was he had his long lens with him, so he was able to capture, as you can see, these geese over here doing whatever dance they were doing. Fantastic shot. I love the contrasts. Love the contrasts here, Mark. The black and white really turned out really nice for this image. Très bien réussi avec le noir et blanc, Marc. Les mises au point, très bien fait. Ouais. Peut-être, juste voir ici, je vois un peu, je sais pas si c'est l'arbre qui est vraiment, il a l'air un peu, tu sais, il n'est pas à niveau, vraiment. On voit même le courant des ombrages ici, mais surtout l'arbre qui est là. C'est une chose qu'on veut, qu'on cherche en temps réel, c'est d'avoir des verticales ou des horizons quand même assez à niveau, à moins qu'il y ait une raison d'avoir comme celui que, voyons, Fab avait fait, ou ce qui était en 45 degrés. Tu sais, either you really you canter your photo, or you put it straight. But having it just slightly offset like this, it's a little bit hard to because you can see that even the horizon would be approximately here. This line here would be a bit more perpendicular to your tree, but still, Mark, it's a fantastic shot. Good go at it. Here's another one of Mark's shot of me shooting with my Nikon F3, which I now have the waist level viewfinder on. This one I was shooting it with the 24 millimeter, and I believe these images on the 35 were developed. So I just don't have the pinhole for this. J'ai pas le sténopé pour cet appareil photo-là. Mais je l'avais apporté avec moi juste pour... j'avais une pellicule couleur dedans. So ça va être dans ma prochaine batch de couleurs quand je vais le développer avec mon oncle Bob dans le courant de la semaine. And Mark, you know what I say, I always tell you that the eyes have to be absolutely in focus, and you did a fantastic job here. even though I'm not looking at you, we always look for the eye. So the first thing I see in this image, it's always the eye, and the eye looking in the camera. This is a fantastic shot. Mark, you really did a good job. Not because it's a photo of me, really, because it's well cropped. I'm well set. And you can actually see me looking through the actual viewfinder of my F4, which is one of my babies here in my collection, my very, very humble, moderate collection that I have. I'm not a collector to collect. I'm just, it's just out of nostalgia that I like. And going back to film photography for me is really, really stepped up my photography, my digital photography even. Here's some more shots. There's Luco. Hey, voilà Luco, ça va? Hein? C'était quand même un peu frais, hein, cette journée-là, je m'en rappelle. Il y avait quand même un petit vent, but c'était quand même
Oui, il faisait
intéressant. You're
froid.
not just doing it. Ah, Luco, on
Yeah.
t'entend?
Oui, il faisait froid.
Il faisait frais, hein, cette journée-là?
Oui, il faisait froid.
Mais ici, justement, je suis en train de faire encore ça vient de Marc. Ça, je suis en train de faire un petit Instagram Reel pas Reel, mais Story pour annoncer qu'est-ce que je faisais, puis qu'est-ce qu'on faisait en groupe et tout. Après ça, nous avons ici Johan qui aime bien faire des événements. Le paysage, le portrait. Je sais qu'il y en a plusieurs portraits, séances de portraits que Johan nous a envoyés. I love this one. This one's beautiful. Vous voyez comment est-ce que le sujet il est bien fixé. Il y a peut-être un peu de trop dans l'avant-plan, c'est-à-dire la partie ici en bas, car il a manqué un peu de le machin truc ici I'm assuming this is a resemblance of a fan, of those Oriental fans, Asian fans, lit up on fire here by this street performer. But quand même, c'est un très, très bon. Puis regardez comment est-ce que la mise au point est vraiment sur l'œil, sur le visage. Très bien réussi, Johan. Encore ici, même chose, a little bit of night photography, un peu de photo de nuit en portrait. Regardez comment est-ce que le seul éclairage vient de les torches qui sont dans les mains, les flammes, je veux dire, pas le torch, but the wands with the fire on the end. Evidently here, il y a un peu de bruit, mais ça ici, même on aurait pu appliquer un peu plus de correction. Pas beaucoup. Normally, when I do these types of shots here, I don't like to apply too much noise reduction. But still, and guys, if you get a chance, also remember, in the comments over here of the photo itself, you can always put in some of your tes réglages que vous avez utilisés pour la photo. Parce que Facebook n'affiche pas, justement, il n'y a pas de la capacité d'afficher les expositions, surtout s'ils ne sont pas inclus non plus dans les métadonnées de les exportations que vous faites. So, guys, if you get a chance also, try to remember to put some exposure, just because everybody's trying to learn, everybody's in the learning process. Normally, I would tell people that, it's not important. But I do realize also that specifically for the novices out there, they want to know how we achieved the images that we achieve. Here we have a beautiful shot again here of the girl. And, having a little bit of a darker background, underexposing just slightly allows you to get that nuance of flame from where the wands are lit and the flame that's exceeding the from the rod or expelled from the rod as they're in motion. Using a little bit more longer exposure also might have extended a little bit more the direction in which the fan was moving while she was juggling them. Johan, again, your portrait photography really has excelled in the last few years that we've known each other. Fantastic job, though. Really fantastic job. She's a little bit far forward. You could have maybe put her a little bit more in this third area here and given her a little bit more breathing room, un peu plus d'espace de respiration, comme on dit. quand on parle de la placement de notre sujet. But still, quand même, c'est très bien réussi, Johan. Oh, this is beautiful. A fire thrower, a fire eater. This is beautiful. It's fantastic. What can I tell you? It's a beautiful shot. It's a little bit heavy down here in this area. You know, and I would never say crop it, because when you crop it, you are going to lose resolution and your pixels will just become bigger and more blurrier. But in the actual, while you're shooting it, here I would have, concentrated more on this area up here rather than all this area down here. But other than that, again, Johan, très bien réussi, fantastique. We've got a gentleman here with a fire sword. Beautiful shot. Placement fantastique. Composition fantastique. Exposition. Tu sais, des fois, là, c'est difficile, à moins que vous en pratiquez beaucoup et souvent. Photographier les flammes en mouvement, surtout, c'est très difficile. C'est là où on arrive à avoir vraiment des flammes qui sont très surexposées, puis ça devient tellement brûlé qu'on ne peut même pas essayer de récupérer plus d'informations qui n'est pas là. Puis même ici, on voit un peu, tu vois le petit gris bleu ici qu'on voit, ou le gris vert. Ça, c'est parce que probablement que Johan a essayé de sous-exposer cette partie-là un peu de trop. Et c'est ça que ça a créé ce phénomène ici. If you look at this phenomenon that's created here in the flames, is probably because Johan tried to underexpose this section where the flame was to get more detail in the flame, but that flame is already overexposed to the point where there is absolutely no information there to recuperate. So in this particular case, the best thing to have done at that point was to underexpose the image and then adjust for the subject afterwards. And you would have gotten more of a yellowish, and you would have seen more density in the flame itself and not a blown out like that. But again, Johan, still very well, très bien réussi quand même. Les expositions ici sont tout bien réussies. Même que, tu sais, on voit très bien que je comprends que ça bouge vite, puis tu sais, vous n'êtes pas toujours au courant puis si je me rappelle bien, vous avez quand même un DSLR qu'on ne voit pas le niveau dans le viseur pour garder le sol à niveau. Mais quand même, si jamais vous décidez de refaire une séance de photos comme ceci, je te dirais plutôt de sous-exposer d'à peu près un cran de lumière pour ramener un peu plus de détails dans les flamèches, pour ne pas avoir des zones complètement éclatées et blanches, comme on voit ici dans cette photo-là. It's not to say that it's a bad shot. It's a great shot. It's a fantastic shot. I'm not diminishing the shot itself. Just that to bring something a little bit more to the image would have been to bring a little bit more of the flames, not just blown out torches. Oh, sorry, went back the wrong way. So let's continue on. Here's another beautiful shot here. Fantastic. I love, and again, in this particular case, if you could have, it would have been nice to zoom in on the subject. Having all this dark area, it doesn't play well. In my opinion, it doesn't play very well because it makes the subject look too far away. Even though, I mean, the lighting, the best lighting is really right here. You notice how the flames are really well lit, lighting up his face, lighting up his hands. We got a nice separation, his leg, his torso from the background. Très bien réussi, Johan. Fantastic. Here we have our fire breather again. Fantastic shot. You see, this is exactly what I was telling you about. Quand on est trop surexposé, on essaie de ramener un peu la qualité dans les flamèches ici qui sont orange-jaune, puis on essaie de le ramener ça plus tôt, puis qu'est-ce qui arrive? When the software doesn't have enough information because your highlights are so far blown out, what happens is it tries to incorporate new pixels, and what happens is, because it has no detail there to begin with, it tries to analyze and determine what should be there but because there's no color, there, what it does is it just integrates gray pixels, and this becomes more surreal. And again, yes, I understand that if you would have underexposed it more, then you would have lost him. But the idea would have been to underexpose for the flame and then adjust him later on. Okay. I will post one of my, justement pour prouver la différence, I will post one of my couchers de soleil que j'ai fait ici à Sainte-Julie in the group in the next few days, where I actually underexposed the image, the general image in the camera by -3 to get my sky, and I still underexposed the sky by -1 on top of that, so -4 in all, and then overexposed the foreground, which was basically a farmer's field, by +4 to compensate for the -4 I applied to the sky. And you'll see how much more information you have in the shadows and in the darks than you ever can have in the highlights and in the whites. Okay. And that would have just completely brought all of this back. But again, Johan, fantastic job. Oh, this was our first, was it our first? No, this was our second. I think this was our second supper at Rivière-des-Prairies for our film group. C'était notre deuxième rencontre pour notre groupe Rivière-des-Prairies Argentique. Et puis, on avait parlé un peu, on a fait quelques conférences. Il y avait Fabrizio, il y a quelqu'un en fait, il y a une vingtaine de minutes, une trentaine de minutes. Il y avait Manny aussi qui a parlé de, me semble, Manny avait parlé de différents équipements, puis moi, j'ai parlé un peu des pellicules argentiques. Fait que c'était très intéressant quand même. Here we have Mark with his geese. Beautiful shot. Love the black and white treatment that you put on this shot here, Mark. It really looks good. Yeah, the detail of the bird, the detail of the head, the beak, were very well, très bien réussi ici. Fantastic. Mark with his selective black and white treatments. Again, depth of fantastic choice of depth of field. Everything is sharp. Excuse me. Everything is sharp. So you know the depth of field very well chosen for this building, this stone house here. The Mark is doing a lot of experimenting, I should say, with Photoshop, if I'm not mistaken. And Mark can correct me if I'm wrong. So he's really getting really good with Photoshop. Here we have Monsieur Warnier. Et puis ça, c'est à Saint-Lambert. C'était la parc. Je m'en rappelle. Retouche, voilà, critique, bienvenue si besoin. Ben, je t'avoue que la mise au point est bien sur la première personne. La seule chose que je te dirais qui aurait pu être améliorée là-dessus, ça aurait été prendre une profondeur de champ un peu plus long pour avoir pas autant de netteté, mais un peu plus de netteté, sur la deuxième statue, la troisième statue. Mais à part de ça, vous avez bien réussi de capturer et de démontrer en noir et blanc la rayon de lumière sur ces statues-là le moment que vous avez pris la photo. Fait que je te dis, M. Warnier, très bien réussi. Fantastic shot. Félicitations. Félicitations, vraiment. Here we have a shot from Monsieur Légaré. Beautiful shot. I could not tell you. Ah, c'est un cap tourmente. Non, attends. Ah, excusez. What am I saying? C'est un roseline pourpre à cap tourmente that he shot on the 23rd. A beautiful shot. I love. Look at the beautiful detail in the eye, in the beak, in the feathers. C'est très bien réussi. Les couleurs, très bien. Puis je t'avoue que je suis pas mal sûr que ça a été quand même assez difficile avec ces branches-là à faire la mise au point, à moins que vous avez vraiment précisé. Mais très bien fait, M. Légaré. Puis les contrastes, même le ciel bleu pâle contre son plumage rouge, là. Fantastic shot. Merveilleux. Here we got Mark with his his more morbid shots here of a I guess I don't know if there's a conversation going on between the bee and the spider, or if there's a fight going on here between the two of them. But Mark's always intrigued by these little the insect world and rodent world. I mean, he's worked in this area for so long as exterminator that it's a fantastic shot. I mean, the depth of field, the contrast, the sharpness of the focus. Mark, very, very well. Now the question to you would be, what's the species of spider and what's the species of bee? But other than that, here we got, what a great shot. And Mark replied, what to it? Mark replied, thanks. There you go. No, but it is really a very good shot. The only other thing is, being that everything is going, mind you, I like the fact that the husk of wheat here, you picked it, being that it's on a diagonal, you picked it to come out of a corner is fantastic. Could have maybe just given a little bit more space over here, seeing that everything is pointing this way. But other than that, Mark, you did a really nice shot here. Fantastic shot. On to the next one. I noticed that we have gone a little exceeded our time, but because we started late with our little technical difficulties. Leco with a Porsche, beautiful shot. And here he's put his focal point on the emblem on the grill here on the hood of the, not the hood, but the rear hood of the, over the motor. He was using a 200 ISO f3.5 à un 1250e de seconde. Fantastique. Le 3.5, Luco, c'était plutôt pour être capable d'aller chercher le flou derrière, d'après moi, le 3.5.
Oui,
And
exactement.
evidently being in the bright sun. C'est ça, Luco?
Oui, exact.
OK, parfait. Puis ici, vous êtes avec la 27 mm de ton 18-55. Très bien réussi. Les couleurs sont bien faites. La mise au point bien réussie. Fantastique shot là. Une autre image ici, another panoramic here from Fabrizio in Montreal. And that looks like Windsor Station from well, I can't remember the park on Dorchester. Nice shot here, black and white. I know that we have more shots from Luco. Here we have a pair shot from Fabrizio. And just look at the way that, the softness of the background and everything really brings out the pear and separates the pear from the rest of the very well executed here, Fabrizio. And as a black and white too, the contrasts, the pear is usually a light green to light yellow, but here we really see not too many éclats de lumière, not too many speckled light, glistening light qualities here either, but still very well executed. Here we have Monsieur Warnier, and I know exactly where he shot this image. This image here would have been shot from Le Belvédère well, I keep forgetting the pronunciation. Condiaronc, which is the Belvedere when you go up to the top of the mountain at Mont Royal. You follow, there's a off to the left of the parking lot, there's a I guess you could say a dirt road that brings you to this reception hall, and it's a huge stone Belvedere. We actually shot lastly, I shot a newest of my mes sorties photos, ça s'appelle La levée de la lune. Puis justement, on essaie de capturer la lune qui se lève derrière les bâtisses ici. dans le ciel, sauf qu'évidemment, on avait autant de nuages cette journée-là aussi. Mais il y avait quand même, au-dessus des nuages, c'était tout un ciel bleu. Fait qu'on a attendu jusqu'à temps que la Lune a dépassé les nuages pour la photographier. Mais c'est un très bel, les contrastes, bien, l'éclairage, bien réussi ici, monsieur Warnier. Le profondeur de champ, c'est net jusqu'à l'infini. C'est exactement ce qu'on cherche dans une photo comme ceci. Fantastique. Johan, here we got a nice shot of capturing a fountain frozen in time. This looks like it might have been shot at, voyons, what's it called? No, c'est quoi le Botanical Gardens, outside the Botanical Gardens. Yeah, there we go. That's exactly where it was shot, at the Botanical Gardens. This is in the Japanese garden or the Chinese garden expo. Beautiful shots here, landscape architecture, the sharpness of the images. C'est vraiment bien réussi. Johan, vraiment, hats off to you. Sérieusement, là. Fabrizio with his coucher de soleils. Here we go, and his little soft treatments that he applies to his images. I cannot tell you if this was an iPhone or if this was one with his digital cameras. But beautiful shots nonetheless. It's a little bit dark. Other than that, it's really well shot. I like the image. And Fab likes doing his panoramics. I would say this was probably shot on his phone. Beautiful shot. Yeah. Here's Mark with his whatchamacallit, his infographie. I believe this is a montage of two shots. He told me I don't remember what he was shooting through, if it was a can or if it was an actual bottle, but still très bien réussi. Regarde, you know, son mise au point, il est quand même, let me just check his mise au point just to be picky. No, his mise au point looks pretty good, well on the eye here. Yeah, I'd say that, yeah, that's pretty good there, Mark. Good job. Fantastic shot, Mark. Good for you. This was a shot that came from Fab. He likes doing his panoramics from one side to the other using his phone. This was the day that we had with the RDP Argentique gone at 6 o'clock in the morning down to Old Montreal. I had my 4x5. I shot, how many did I shoot? Did I shoot 4? I think I shot 4 images with my 4x5 camera. And I have those to develop again also. Yeah, it was a beautiful morning. It was quiet. Montreal was really quiet. Fab had a model with him, as you can see. Very nice shot. Here's that alley. Voici le ruelle que je vous avais parlé à propos de ce qui est tellement populaire à Montréal. C'est vraiment une belle ruelle pour jouer avec la lumière. Vraiment. Fantastique. Ici, bâtisse sur le coin de la rue. Actually, sur 2 coins de la rue. Avec la porte vraiment orientée sur le coin ici. Another good shot, another great shot here from Fab. Fantastic. Johan, more portraits. Beautiful shot, beautiful colors, beautiful exposure. I love the dynamic crop, the way that comment est-ce que vous avez placé votre modèle. Très bien réussi. Fantastique là. Encore une très belle photo. Bien exposé. Bien réussi. Oh, yeah, here we go. Keep going. There we go. There's the troop. Fantastic. Beautiful. Il y a rien qui manque dans cette photo-là. Tout est bien, un peu serré ici sur le côté à gauche, là, mais quand même, tout est très, très bien représenté. La lumière, évidemment, c'est une journée ensoleillée, quand on est en l'ombre, faut vraiment se concentrer sur la lumière qui est sur le sujet. On ne peut pas avoir tout là. Ici, c'est très bien réussi. Très bien. Très, très beau. J'aurais peut-être sacrifié un peu plus mon avant-plan pour aller ramasser plus de détails dans les. I cannot remember what those are called. But they're fans, obviously, but in French, I can't remember the French. But Johan, très bien réussi. Fantastique. C'est très, très, très beau. La seule autre chose que peut-être mais on pourra pour diminuer un peu plus les ombrages dans les yeux, juste d'avoir un réflecteur blanc qui se crée en 45 degrés vers le sujet, ça t'aurait pu aider un peu plus, mais quand même bien placé. Il n'y a pas d'arbre qui sort de la tête. Il s'est placé vraiment pour que. Oups, j'ai perdu mon curseur. Pourquoi? Il est là. Allez, allez. Et où mon curseur? OK, il est là. L'arbre ici est assez décentré de la tête du modèle que ça l'a bien sorti. Ici, encore d'autres en mouvement à part de ça. Bien figé. Les deux draps ici dans les mains. Fantastique. Ça ne se cache pas la face. Encore, même chose ici. Un peu sombre. Un peu sombre dans le visage. On aurait pu peut-être ouvrir un peu plus ici dans le visage. Pas nécessairement, mais juste brûler un peu plus pour qu'on sorte, on voit un peu plus le visage. Mais très bien réussi. Ici, la seule chose c'est encore d'avoir un peu plus de lumière sur elle ici. Puis ça, en post-traitement, ça le prend juste en post-traitement. Ça ne le prend pas nécessairement, pas un flash nécessairement, mais d'avoir coupé la main ici, c'est un peu trop serré, on est un peu trop proche. C'est plutôt dans ces situations-là où je préfère d'utiliser des longues focales puis d'être beaucoup plus loin, peut-être même d'une dizaine de pieds, puis après ça, recadrer si je dois le recentrer par après. Mais quand même, très bien réussi, Johan. Here we've got Mark and his falcon. Beautiful shot. Attends, ici. Yeah, it's just because it was a small crop, probably from his 200, from his 7200 here. But other than that, still very well placed. The focus is on the bird, on the head. You got to realize here we've got Fab with his his selfies, his comical selfies. As far as the bird goes, we always say the eye, but as long as you have the head, the eye will be in focus at this distance when you look at this with this type of an image here. Here we have and I love the framing, the frame that he used, this treatment over here that he used to make it a kind of like a film image, an image directly off of a film or a Polaroid. Beautifully done here. More panoramics from Fab. This one's Jean Talon and DeCarry. In the blue hour. Beautiful shot. More blue hour images here. Fantastic. Here we have Mark with an old engine. La photo was retravaillée, c'est sûr. On voit très bien avec les lumières rouges ici, puis le noir et blanc ailleurs, tout sur le reste. Puis même voyons, the emblem here in the front. Hey, Luco, vous êtes encore là? Si vous avez des commentaires, n'hésitez pas là. Interromps-moi, surtout. But again, Mark, the focus was really well placed. Depth of field, well chosen. Don't know which focal length you used here, but still, it's symmetrical too. When I look at the tire here in the front and the tire here on the left, très bien réussi. That actually makes me think of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Here we have Fabrizio, and I'm not exactly sure what he was shooting on this, but it looks some kind of auvent or umbrella. Des rayons de lumière. Here you go. Rays of light. Interesting crop. It's very narrow, very different, very nice. Johan with this is a portrait. I looked at these earlier. This is a portrait session that he did. Give me a sec. I'm just going to go here. I want to get rid of my taskbar. Beautiful shot. Needs a little bit more light on the face. There's a little too much light on her arm, on her forearm. Here we would just need to open this up a little bit more. This is where exactly I would either using a flash, a studio flash outside, battery operated, or using a diffuseur would have just opened up the eyes a little bit more, opened up the face a bit more. This is nice. Very, very well orchestrated. A little trop serré, but it still works. It works very well. I mean, it's a nice shot. It works well. Again, beaucoup de, when it comes to these shots here, a lot of the times when you have, quand tu as trop d'avant-plan ici, puis pas assez de arrière-plan au-dessus de la tête, on se voit très bien que le photographe, il est debout, il est à sa pleine taille. Il est pas tu sais, normalement, on essaie de placer l'appareil photo vis-à-vis juste en dessous de la cœur de la personne. Pour donner un plan plus à niveau avec le sujet. Ici, quand tu as trop d'avant-plan et pas assez d'arrière-plan, c'est qu'est-ce qui arrive, c'est qu'on est un peu plus, ça a l'air d'être un peu plus en plongée. And in that respect, you kind of not diminish, well, you in a way, you kind of diminish your subject a little bit, which makes it just that little bit more, we're kind of looking down on the person. Here, you'd really want to be more vis-a-vis. And in that case, what you have to do, especially when you shoot a vertical like this, you want the axis of the lens to be more so around just the diaphragm. Okay, just to give that impression of either being at the same level or the subject being a little bit taller than you are. But otherwise, here's a beautiful shot. The lighting is perfect. Je sais pas si vous avez utilisé un flash. Je crois que vous avez utilisé un flash parce que il y a beaucoup de lumière pour un. And if I'm not mistaken, ça c'est, I remember this railing. This is Parc la Visitation. But here, I believe it's a flash that Johan used. Still very well executed. You didn't cut her off at the knees. A little bit too tight on this leg, but still, you could have cropped at her dress and given a little bit more headroom, right? And straighten, mind you. Okay, I see what you did here. You straightened out the railing, which gave us a crooked vertical here. That's hard to. This is the fact that you're not perpendicular to her. Why those two lines are not exactly level, but still, good job, Johan. Très, très beau comme moment. I don't know if the placing of her hand, it looks like she's kind of, scraping that hair out of her face. Don't know if it would have been a photo that I would have chosen as a final. In the particular case, usually you'd try to have the hands closed, not like a claw. When it comes to a portrait like this, but still good shot. A little bit, a little bit harsh lighting on the face, but this because the sun was so high up in the sky, but still very, very nice shot. Good job. it's not just a lot of the times, the photography, it's not just the technique, it's not the exposure, it's also setting your subject up for the pose. That's also important for a portrait photographer. It's not just capturing. I was listening to a podcast, là, peut-être une journée ou deux, qu'une des photographes, dans son introduction, disait que c'était un photographe de portrait qui n'essayait pas de photographier un sujet puis le diriger, mais plutôt de photographier alentour du sujet en différentes positions et tout. And I find, I don't know, it's not, maybe it's my style. I found that the way that she had said it, that she was too reactive to the subject themselves, and a lot of times, especially, I'm not talking about portrait models or photography models or fashion models. They know how to react in front of a camera. They know how to move in front of a camera. But especially when you're talking about people who've never been in front of a camera for more than a couple of hours in their life, they don't know how to react to the photographer in front of them with the camera pointed, with this huge big eye pointed at them. So a lot of the time, the photographer and sometimes even me, I have to get in the position to show them how they should place themselves, especially when I'm doing wedding photography, when I know very well that this is probably the only time I'm going to see this couple in front of me, and just to put them a little bit more at ease, it adds a little bit of humor in there too. When I take certain poses with my second shooter or with a principal shooter, as the case may be. But still, again, this is a beautiful shot here, in the fact that Johan had to crop rather tightly. He didn't crop at the elbow, he cropped at the forearm. Fantastic. You cropped above the knees. Beautiful shot. Good job. And you see here, even in a sunny situation, using a flash diminishes the quality of the shadows between the brightest side and between the darkest side. Très bonne utilisation, Johan, avec le flash. Très bien réussi. Fantastic. I didn't even check what time it is. Okay, guys, I'm going to have to cut this short soon. I might have to do a second episode later this week because it's getting very close to me having to prepare for my excursion tonight. But here we have, again, another portrait from Johan. So we'll finish the portraits with Johan, and then I'll come back later this week and we'll continue from that point with another episode. But here's a beautiful shot. This is fantastic. Even the fact that it's cantered to the left a little bit gives it a little bit more of a dynamic feeling to the image. Just a little bit too close to the hand, crop wise, but other than that, beautiful shot. Lighting just a little bit on the dull side. Could have opened up the face a bit, opened up the eyes a bit more, but other than that, fantastic. Again, here's another shot with the flash, use of the flash. Beautiful shot. Great job. A little, again, your level. Now, if technically it looks as though you are perpendicular and you're directly in front of your subject. So if you would have put this line more horizontal, this vertical would have been perfectly vertical. In the sense that I don't think adding this offset level railing is giving much more to the image. But still, beautiful shot, beautiful model. Good job. Here we have another one with the wooden column. Nice shot. We have a little bit more with the graffiti in the back to add a little. Now, in this particular image, I might have used a little bit larger aperture just to give a little bit of a blur to the background and move the subject a little farther away from the background. Using a long focal length, you could have still gotten the same area behind. Other than that, Johan, the lighting is great. And again, you cut the hula hoop, which kind of makes it a little bit, when we see the hula hoop, we'd prefer to see it a full circle of that hula hoop. And now okay. So this is where we're going to start from our next image. Mark, from here, Mark and his spiders. And I love spiders. I didn't. I remember doing. I must have been about 9 or 10 or 11 years old, and I had done a project on spiders for school. But Mark, as far as a macro image goes, I love this. You know, you really got in on the face of the spider. You really got in on the whatever this spider was, I don't know, standing on or sitting on here. Beautiful shot, fantastic colors. I love the black background, really works well in this image. Félicitations, Marc. Très bien réussi. And with that, Luco, je ne sais pas si tu as des commentaires à propos des photos qu'on a vues, on a regardé à date.
Non, ça va, ça va. J'aime vraiment ça quand les gens y posent parce que, comme tu vois, les gens sont vraiment talentueux. Sans en faire une compétition, c'est inspirant. C'est souvent ça que j'aime du groupe.
Merveilleux, merveilleux. Merci beaucoup. Nous, on va se voir plus tard ce soir. Et puis, moi, je vais me préparer. Il faut que je pack l'auto et tout. Mais for all of you, I will continue with another episode later in the week, if not next weekend. And we'll do part 2 just to get up to date with all the images that have been submitted. And then I'm going to see if I can't submit some myself. Je vais essayer de voir si je ne peux pas en soumettre quelques-uns moi-même. Des dernières photos que j'ai faites avec les excursions et tout. Malgré que j'ai commencé, pour ceux qui sont intéressés, vous verrez sur ma page Facebook qui est reliée sur mon Instagram. Maintenant, je poste depuis les dernières sorties. Je fais 2 posts par sortie, c'est-à-dire que I post what they call the souk photos, which is the straight out of camera. So I'll probably post 5 or 10 images per excursion straight out of the camera so that you see them. And then what I'll do is about, I don't know, a week later, after I've had time to go over those images and actually treat them. And the treated images will always have a white border and a kind of a film style type border to indicate that those are the treated ones. So, avec tout ça, je vous souhaite une très bonne fin de semaine pour qu'est-ce qui reste de la longue fin de semaine. On va se revoir encore une autre fois. Je vais faire la même chose, je vais faire Zoom encore, sauf que cette fois-là, je vais essayer peut-être de voir si avec le Zoom, ça serait mieux d'oublier la partie OBS pour l'instant et juste me contrôler mes différentes points de vue. J'ai oublié de changer parce que là, maintenant, I continuously forget to put myself. There we go. Now you can see me. So now I'm going to see what happens just using Zoom and not passing through OBS to see if the quality of the video would be better and not be super compressed, as Luco had mentioned to me on the YouTube. And I haven't even seen the actual YouTube yet. But we'll try that again because I'd like to see if this can work. I really would like to see that maybe have 4 or 5 people. Et Zoom a un optimized for video setting lorsque du partage. OK, so dans ce temps-là, je vais essayer de voir aussi si je ne peux pas faire la même chose avec lui. Donne-moi une seconde. Ça a l'air que ça a gelé. Ça se peut-tu? OK, ça est revenu. Et voilà. Now, should be back to normal now. Je ne sais pas si j'avais justement si je l'avais activé. Normalement, c'est supposé d'être activé quand je fais le share, but well, wait a minute. Let me see if I share. Oh, wait a minute. I shared it from OBS. I didn't share it from Zoom. I didn't think of that one. Hold on now. Let me just try something really quick. So if I do go from the Zoom, Luco, dites-moi si.
Attends, je vais retourner dans le stream sur YouTube pour voir.
OK. Dites-moi si c'est mieux comme ça. Est-ce que tu vois l'image du... J'ai pas pensé à celui-là.
C'est un peu pixelisé même dans Zoom. Là,
Même dans Zoom?
Ouais. Ah, non, c'est revenu. C'est le temps qui fait le partage.
OK.
Puis là, j'attends que ça apparaisse dans le stream. Dans Zoom lui-même, Ah oui, dans le stream, je pense que c'est vraiment mieux aussi.
C'est mieux dans le stream quand je fais ça par la partage
Ah
par Zoom?
oui, ah oui. C'est vraiment mieux
OK,
aussi
ben
dans le
OK.
stream.
So, dans ce temps-là, qu'est-ce que je vais faire? C'est que je vais utiliser l'OBS juste pour mes appareils ici. Puis je vais faire comme que je fais quand je fais mes webinaires. I'm going to do, as I do with my webinars, I'll just share the screens through I'll share my second screen through my Zoom. All right. So then, thank you. Merci beaucoup, Luco, pour ça.
Ouais. On
Ça aide.
l'utilise souvent, le Optimize for Video dans Zoom. On l'utilise
Oui.
beaucoup au travail, justement, parce que des fois, on partage des vidéos dans nos présentations, là.
Ah
Puis,
oui.
ça aide beaucoup dans Zoom. Ça fait une grande différence si, mettons, tu joues un film dans Zoom à travers Screen Share. Puis, si tu ne le
OK.
checkes pas, Zoom, des fois, il rush pas mal. Mais si tu le check-in, puis après, tu te mets à jouer une vidéo ou montrer des images, ça va vraiment mieux.
Puis même toi, you sound better too. Là, je t'entends comme il faut.
Ah, ça se pourrait aussi.
Tantôt, il faisait comme un grain, il y avait un grichage qui s'appliquait. Mais, all right, fantastic, great. So with this, guys, I'm going to say adieu. Have a wonderful weekend. Un bon longue fin de semaine. Nous, on a une grande soirée ce soir avec l'Astro. Et puis, pour l'instant, je te souhaite tous bon photo. Enjoy, shoot, and post. Well, I mean post, you know what I mean. Surtout, print. That's what I really mean to say. Avec tout ça, je vous souhaite une bonne journée et à la prochaine. Thank you all again for watching, for listening, and we'll see you all soon.